a secret, can you keep it? It involves spilling blood in your waist, don't mistake my intention. It's not sin or a murder for carnal disgrace, that would be unlawful. It's love-filled, there's a purpose right now while you're facing the ground. Who wants to see this firsthand, what I'm talking about, while your family screams? Coming closer, my grip, it holds you. Feel the rush of my boiling veins. Impact of your energy growing. React to your enemy slowing. Pushing forward to the things that make you scream. I have a motive, a focus. I won't repent from regret as I choke you to death. My choices, these voices won't get out of my head as you panic. You're breathing harder on me. But do you perceive and believe you're becoming my victim? So listen, I'm screaming so loud that I can't even hear myself. Coming closer, my grip, it holds you. Feel the rush of my boiling veins. Impact of your energy growing. React to your enemy slowing. Pushing forward to the things that make.
Okay, got it. Hi everyone, here's a Peter from TMH, which stands for the metal heartbeat in my native language Polish. It is Metalowe, Bicie, Serca, and today my guest is Mario Galdos from Memory of a Melody from USA.
How's it going, man? Thank you so much for having us on the show. Appreciate you.
Pretty good. And my first question is, why Memory of a Melody? Is there any special history behind this name?
Behind the name, I don't know about a special history. I just know that when we were first, coming up with the idea for the band name, we wanted to do something that was really memorable, and really kind of captured the word, captured melody, just, because we wanted to do something melodic. We wanted to do something memorable. And I think actually that was kind of the train of the conversation there, was saying we want to do something melodic and memorable. What about Memory of a Melody? And it kind of just came together like that while hanging out one night.
Okay, got it. As I was reading your bio on your website, I discovered the information that you had a pretty huge gap after two first albums. Why is it so? Why it took you so long to be back on the stage?
Yeah, a lot of times life happens, and realistically, we all had some life, just meaning that we had some families. A couple of us got married. Had some kiddos, and it just kind of took us in some different directions for a little bit. So, the music was never something. There was no bitter breakup. There was nothing like that. It was just taking some time to kind of be with our families and do that, since we had put some time into being away from them. And so, I think that gave us a great opportunity to retool and kind of get back to where we are now.
Okay, and you returned not empty-handed, because you returned with awesome EP released in previous year.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was so last year we released Burn Alive, which is pretty much cool. I'm standing in a closet right now, and this is the closet actually where I wrote the vocals to Burn Alive, that song. And then, we really did a lot of work, it's funny because I'll do little voice recordings in this closet, but did a lot of work on the song Merry Go Round and Rise Up. And then, just released that in March of last year. Of course, the pandemic kind of made that a little harder to get some of the marketing material we wanted to out there, like music videos, but that's something that's still in plans for the future.
Okay, so if the vocals has been recorded in your closet, then where the rest of the instruments have been recorded, because it is curious. Right.
Yeah, no. So actually, I'm saying whenever I do little demos, I'll do them in my closet. But we do everything in the studio. We go all to a studio and record there with Taz at Blue Ocean Studios. We've been recorded with him. And also with Brian Scott, we've worked with him at his studio, the Progression Lab Studios.
Okay, you were talking a little bit about pandemic. And how is it now in the USA? How pandemic restrictions are what is the impact of the pandemic restrictions on touring or performing live for bands in USA?
I mean, I don't know that restrictions are really as really really what's happening anymore right now. I'm in Texas, so Texas is a little bit more liberal. However, it definitely had its impact. A lot of folks, went through all the same things with the challenges of not working and everything. But now, we went to a concert in Texas here a couple weeks ago, and there was thousands of people on the floor there. People wear masks. Some people do, some people don't. Just really depends on what their opinion is on that. We actually had gone to a concert a couple weeks before that, and they required everybody have a vaccine, and that was in California. So that's again, it's a little bit different everywhere you go, I think, in the United States right now.
Okay, we as Poland are more central country, so we've got rules for all of our districts, I may say. And here in Poland, it goes like that. You've got a number of tickets for vaccinated, for unvaccinated people, and people who got their vaccines can go without a limits. So the point is, if you are vaccinated, then you can release your place for another guy, and I think it's rather okay in this
Yeah, absolutely. It's everybody's choice, everybody's going to do what's right for them.
Okay, and I would like to come back to the beginning. What was the beginning of Memory of a Melody? Who came up with the idea of creating such a band or project?
It was really a very different version of what of the guys that play now. So really, this idea started probably 16 years ago. About 14 years ago now. Just with another guy. Like, it was a completely different group. It was a different drummer. It was me and another guy, and we decided to get some members off Craigslist, and then played some shows and did okay, and then decided we wanted to take it to the next level, which is when we met Brian Scott at from the Union Underground. And so he produced our record, Things That Make You Scream. And, in the middle of all that, we had found some new guitarists, which is Wade and Roel. Those guys came from Craigslist also, which is pretty funny that, it would be like an online, really more for sales than anything. But, some people posted ads in there. And so got those guys from there. And then from there, the music kind of came together, and you show it to people who have talents and who can understand, the music that is, with the intention of being a little bit more refined and produced and everything. And we found Joel, who we knew from playing many shows around the city of San Antonio. And then Robin just so happened to be in San Antonio as well. And I was connected to him through Brian Scott. So it's pretty neat.
Okay, now still around your place of origin, I've got another question. How do people in Texas react to whole metal music? Heavy metal, thrash, metalcore? How do they react on such a kind of a music?
Oh, Texas loves it. Specifically San Antonio. I think, it's very well received. You get into Dallas and Houston, there's a huge metal scene in each city, each major city. El Paso, same thing. You'll find metalheads everywhere, but San Antonio, I think I can say is one of the coolest around. They're fantastic when it comes to welcoming us and our style.
Okay, got it. So, people in US or especially in Texas are really open-minded, I may say.
I would say so. Yeah, I think they're pretty open-minded to the definitely to the metal scene here.
And you had opportunity to play gigs in USA. Do you have opportunity also to tour outside of the USA?
Not outside of USA yet. That's something that I would love to do. I know it's something that we've talked about for years, and again, took a little bit of time away, but looking to really kind of release some new music to really take it as far as it'll take us.
Okay, if you could choose any place in the world, where would you want to play a gig or perform a show?
Well, of course, Poland, right? Like, I mean, that's gotta go over there and hang out with all of our fans over there. So that's, we would love to play everywhere. It's hard to kind of say one special place because there's so many places in Europe and Asia, everywhere around the world that would be amazing to play. So we'll start with Poland. I'll say there. We can't wait to be there and go over and see you guys.
Okay, and I think that we've got international sign for music, for rock music. We've got, I don't know if you heard about Poland Rock Festival.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Previous Woodstock, because it used to be called Woodstock, but American festival accused Polish festival about abusing their name, and then our Woodstock changed the name to Poland Rock Festival. Same festival, just different.
Oh, wow. Just a different name. There you go. Oh my gosh, it's awesome.
And some kind of ironic fate is that when Woodstock won the process, the American Woodstock just say, we won't do it, and Poland Rock was keep going, so that's the point. Okay,
wow, that's wild though.
Anyway, do you have a favorite artist, someone who inspired you to grab your stuff and start creating your own kind of music?
Lots of influences, honestly. So I grew up listening to a lot of pop music. Like, one of my favorite artists was Michael Jackson growing up. I loved how he put his shows together. I loved the melodies and all that. So from there, I remember Aerosmith was the first rock band that I ever fell in love with. Like, just remember them being like, wow, this is rock music. That's really, really cool. I always had this interpretation that it was all really, really hard, heavy, dark, scream metal or something like that. I don't know what I thought in my mind, but it was just me in my youth. And then I got introduced to White Zombie, and then Korn kind of came along the way, and Korn was a huge influence for me, kind of just getting into music in general. Like, it got me into playing the bass guitar. It had me, that band, between them and Metallica, they had me playing music on guitars and basses and instruments, like, it was just something I really wanted to be able to create that myself. So I'd say Korn was huge, as a huge influence. Again, taking it back to the roots, Michael Jackson. You've got a lot of artists out there that just make some great music, some great melodies, and that I think that's going to be, I can keep naming a whole bunch of artists, but just to keep it simple, I'll stay there.
So that's why I think the music of Memory of Melody is so unique, I may say. This whole different type of influences from pop to thrash metal.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, right? We got a little bit of everything for everybody. So, yeah, I agree.
And there is a point that a new EP shows it also, because we've got 3 different songs, I may say, dedicated to another type of listener.
Yeah, definitely. I think, Merry-Go-Round was really kind of the closest homage to the songs off Things That Make You Scream in that era. But then, we ended up with Burn Alive, which is completely different than Rise Up, but all still Memory of a Melody, which is really what's pretty cool about it, is that we can be a little bit more versatile with our style.
Okay, but Burnt Alive, if I remember well, is a live album with only one new song, Mouthful of Razors.
So Burn Alive actually came out last year. You're referring to the live album. So we actually had a live album as well. So we released Things That Make You Scream, and then we did the live album, and then released some singles, which was Mouthful of Razors, Between the Eyes, and Phantoms and Shadows. And then after that, we released Burn Alive last year in March.
Okay, got it. Sorry, my fault. Anyway.
Yeah, that's good.
Who is creating lyrics for Memory of a Melody?
The lyrics are... you said lyrics? Is that what you said, lyrics?
Yeah.
Yeah, the lyrics are mainly composed by myself. I have a lot of, Wade, the guitarist, Remember the Melody, has a huge piece as well whenever it comes to certain songs. It really just depends on the song, and sometimes it's just, like I'll just start going and then the song kind of writes itself when I start putting the words together. And then other songs, Wade will, start on writing on guitar and whatnot. He'll already have something in mind. And so we collaborate on those.
Okay, why I asked you about the lyrics? Because there's a really famous and I may say a little bit controversial topic about freedom of speech, especially here in Poland. It's very, I may say, difficult topic. And how do you in USA and you as a memory of melody interpret freedom of speech? Can you talk in the lyrics about everything? Like, there's a problem with a Slayer lyrics, like satanic lyrics or violent lyrics, and there were a couple of controversial, I may say, events about this band, but not only about the Slayer. And how do you see the controversy behind the lyrics?
Controversy can be, it just means people have opposing views, that's really what it is. That's controversy in general. Unfortunately, when controversy turns into violence, that's a problem. It's a huge problem, because everybody should be allowed to have an opinion and allowed to say what they want to say, which kind of touching on your freedom of speech there. Freedom of speech is something in the United States in general that is allowed. We're allowed freedom of speech. We're allowed an opinion. We're allowed to think and feel and act the way we want to within the means of the law. Even when it comes to talking about lawmakers as people, but whenever you get into race and differences in cultures and all those things, that's where it gets a little bit more challenging, because you're not, even though you're quote unquote allowed to say what you want to about it, a lot of people are persecuted because of it, and so you end up with folks who have there's a lot of violence that happens as a result of that. And so it's hard to sometimes say everything that you're thinking, because you might, you might be hurt for that, or your family might be, hurt for that. And so it really just depends on where you are in the United States, kind of like anywhere else. I think there's a lot of, things that you have to kind of keep to yourself. I think it's important to sometimes just make sure you are creative in your words and your delivery, because that really will speak louder sometimes than if you just use violence.
Okay, so to put it in short words, you are free man, but remember, the responsibility for your words is yours.
That's right. There you go.
Okay, do you have any memorable concert, or the one that you particularly like, or all are great for you personally?
They're all great for their own unique reasons and memories that we've made with them. But, definitely the shows that stand out, we're opening for some larger acts where you kind of just have a taste of, although, we always had a good amount of people there to support us. You get into tens of thousands of people at big festivals and different things that are there screaming your name and your lyrics and your songs. And that's pretty awesome. It's something that it almost just gives you that excitement to keep things moving forward, that that if you work hard enough and push towards that, you'll achieve that success for yourself one day, not just at a concert. So we played some shows with Guns N' Roses for that Rocklahoma and River City Rock Fest. We played some local shows here with some large acts at some big stadiums, so it's really cool. Yeah, here locally in Texas.
Okay, no, thank you very much. Now some kind of creative question. Imagine yourself line up, and if you as Memory Melody can play with any artists, who could it be?
Wow. I definitely think I'd want to say Metallica and Korn. I think that'd be cool. I feel like we'd mesh well with them. We would jump on a lot of tours. I know that if it was Wade, he'd probably say Iron Maiden. Throw Iron Maiden on that list. Or there's just so many amazing artists that would be fun to travel with, because it would be a great pairing. Great tour.
Okay. Thank you. Now about you a little bit. How you started your journey with the music? How does it all turned on? In your case.
So I started in music when I was like 12 years old. So once I learned who, like I said, Aerosmith was, and Metallica and everybody, I got a guitar, and really before that I played the tuba in the school band. So I started with the tuba, and then decided that I liked playing an instrument, and then I got the guitar to learn some Metallica songs, and then I went to a music store and I started playing bass, just so I basically started kind of teaching myself how to play all those things. And then from there, we ended up, I formed my first band when I was 16 years old, played with them for several years, and then did sort of Memory of a Melody, probably about 5 years after I finished that other band, like 5-6 years after that. And so, it's kind of just been an evolution of a journey.
Okay, thank you very much. Now a question for future generations. You've got a huge amount of experience as an active musician. What can you say, kind of advice for young musicians who want to start their journey with metal? And it doesn't matter if it's thrash, heavy, no matter the genre. What can you tell them? What can you advise them as a, I may say, good uncle?
So a couple things here would be, get excited about what you're doing, get excited and stay passionate with it. A lot of times, you start realizing, start asking yourself if you're doing the right thing. So stick with it, and then really work on what you're working on, like put a lot of time into making sure it's how you want people to perceive you. Don't, it's nice to get excited and then just go play some shows, and there's nothing wrong with that. But, to be the proudest of your product before you display it for everybody to see that. That's something that I know, took us years to finally put, songs on a record that we were like, God, this song's done. Like we're done with these songs. We feel really proud of them. A lot of times, you might show friends and others just, a demo or something, and that can be exciting, but you want them to be able to hear it the way you hear it in your mind. So put the time, effort, and energy into making that happen. And then when you go on, when you start playing shows, put the same time, energy, and effort into those shows, into your rehearsal, into performing live, into making it something that's worth being memorable for. And then just stick with it. That's a lot of work. Music, there's a lot of business that comes with it, so just make sure you respect, and a lot of times people will want to take advantage of you, so just respect what you have, and put yourself out there at certain occasions. You just have to kind of go with your instincts on most things, but if you're proud of what you're putting out, and if you're working hard and sticking with it and not giving up and not quitting, it'll get you there.
Okay, so I may put it again in short words. Always develop yourself, always work on your skills to be better by day.
Yeah, and just stick with it. I mean, that's in all facets, not just instruments, but in the work ethic of actually putting that time together.
And after all these years, since the beginning, Memory of a Melody, until now, how in your eyes, as an experienced musician, how did metal music and how music in USA changed from your point of view?
I think it's evolved. I mean, productions are better, so people try more things, try more instruments, and try more tracks, and do things. So it's not as I guess organic as it used to be. It's a little bit more developed, a little more, again, it's experimental, because you can be like, you can just definitely do that. I think, it's just natural though, natural progression.
Okay, thank you very much. I would like to ask everyone who is watching, who is listening this interview, because it will also be available as a podcast on Spotify, to follow, like and support Memory of Melody, and the same goes for TMH, which also asks of your support. And as a tradition goes, I would like our guest to say something for the end.
Sure, absolutely. What would you like me to say? Anything?
Anything for a particular goodbye.
Awesome. Well, hey, so we have just finished some time in the studio recording a song that is a reimagined version of our song Mask off the album Things That Make You Scream. So that single is going to be coming out along with 3 other versions of Mask on the 10th of December. So that's 10th of December, 12 a.m. across there, just Eastern Standard Time for the USA. So just saying that's going to be December 10th, the release of 4 versions of Mask, one never before heard. It's going to be our newest single, which is going to be followed by a music video. So that music video will come out, basically about a week or so after that. And then following that will be the big release of our 10-year anniversary edition of Things That Make You Scream, which will be on the 21st of December. So that's going to be the 21st of December, Things That Make You Scream 10-year anniversary edition. We're really excited about that and all the upcoming releases. Another music video as well that is to be announced. But yeah, I think the pre-releases will let you download some songs for as well. So just definitely be on the lookout for those. Follow us on the social media. Check us out at memoryofthemelody.com. We've got some merchandise available on there. And please, follow us, like us, for both of us from the show as well. I just want to say thank you so much for having us on here and giving us an opportunity to visit with you. It's been a great time.
Okay, thank you very much. And as you've heard, December will be really hot against the winter, which is here now in Europe, because Memory of Melody will give us a kind of a Christmas gift, the first free version of a mask, and then really big anniversary box. So what remains for me? Say goodbye. Thank you very much, all of you, and my motto: stay tuned, stay true, stay heavy. Thank you very much.
Father, are you my martyr? Are you my angel? The voice that saved me from hell. I want to believe you. What you do is build my faith. Mother, what have I done?